Hi everyone, welcome. It's Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, so it's time for Stamping with Denise. I am so glad you're here tonight. For those in the U.S., we celebrated Mother's Day yesterday. I hope that if you're a mother, you had the chance to celebrate yesterday. And for me, it was also my 40th wedding anniversary, so it was kind of a double header, so to speak. Had a great day. So I'm so glad you're here tonight. A little bit of housekeeping as always. Please, if you like my video, please share my video and comment share down in the comments, and you may be chosen to win the card I'm working on tonight. What I do is everybody that comments that they shared, I put their name in a drawing, and then I draw one, and I draw a name, and one lucky person gets the card. Last week when we were together, I made this really cute card, and because she shared, commented, and her name was drawn, Ann Johnson's going to get this card. Ann, thank you so much. If you can't share, that's okay. Would you give my video some hearts? Because Facebook likes the hearts better than the thumbs up. So if you would do that, I would appreciate that. Just helps my videos be seen better on my algorithm. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, welcome. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. And once you do, hit that little blue bell, and you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video, which is most Monday evenings. Okay. Tonight I have a fun technique to show you using a new stamp from the new catalog, and we are going green. We're not going green like as in the environment, although that's a good thing. We're going green for our card. Look at that. I think that is cool. I was playing around with this background stamp. It's called Leaf Collection, and it's a really large background stamp. Let's see, how big is this? It's like 4.5 by 5 3/4. So it is a big stamp, and you know, you can just put ink on it and be done with it, but I wanted to play around and find a little bit different way to use it. And this is what I came up with, so I want to show you that tonight. While we're here, I thought I'll also show you we're using the Something Fancy stamp set. I think this was a carryover from the January to April mini catalog, but I liked the sentiment. I didn't forget your birthday, I'm just stretching out the celebration. And I'm pairing it with the Something Fancy dies that coordinate with that stamp set. So who doesn't need to have one or two of these in their stash? Sorry, I forgot your birthday. You know, we all do it. We do our best not to, but let me leave that there. So let's get started here. Took a piece of Whisper White, and normally this piece, this is literally just 1/4 of the sheet of cardstock. So this is 5.5 by 4 1/4. And I'll tell you why. When I'm doing a large stamp like this, and I'm doing a technique kind of like this, I like to have it a little bit bigger than what I need, so then I can trim the edges down, because sometimes you don't always get the edges stamped well. And so it just gives you a little more freedom to do a few other, you know, to trim it up if you like. And that's exactly what I did on this one. I trimmed a couple edges that didn't stamp real well, and so it looks beautiful. So we've got, believe it or not, we're using 5 different shades of green today. We're gonna start here in order. The lightest one, you can hardly see that, it's soft Seafoam. And so what you're gonna do to do this technique, and whenever you have a larger stamp, Hold on, I got some fuzz on here. I don't know how I got glitter on here. I haven't used any glitter. This was the first time I used this stamp. I don't know where this came from. Okay, I think I'm good. So whenever you're using a larger stamp like this, often it's better to take the ink pad to the stamp, okay? So I am putting it on, putting this, what did I say it was? Soft Seafoam all over this stamp, okay? And then this will let me put darker colors on without getting this ink pad dirty. So that was Soft Seafoam. The next color is Coastal Cabana. Now you remember a few weeks ago I did a card and we used our blocks to pick up ink. We're gonna do the very same thing. Whoops, you know what? I missed a corner on this stamp. So let me come back here and get this corner. There we go. Okay, now we're good. So this is a C block, okay? This is Coastal Cabana. I'm gonna pick up ink on that. I'm gonna make sure I get a good fair amount of ink. And again, just going from the lightest to the darkest color. I'm just gonna put this on here anywhere, like this. I'm gonna kind of move it around, okay? A little bit. And I'll tell you why I'm moving it around. Because I found if I didn't twist that ink or that block, I ended up with square things like this. So if I kind of twist it and move it around, kind of helps soften the edges. Okay. Next color, Lost Lagoon. So doing the same thing, picking up ink on it. I'm going to put it down over here, okay? And I've got some soft edges or some hard edges. I'm just going to kind of smooth that out a little bit, see what that looks like when I'm done. And the thing is, none of these cards ever turn out the same. Final color for this part of the card is Pretty Peacock, and this is our darkest color. So you can tell I picked up a lot of ink there. So I'm going to put this here. I'm going to kind of smear this around here. I just want to get rid of any straight lines that I might have there. And you can do this with daubers. There's all sorts of different ways to do this. But I kind of like using the blocks. Okay, so I'm going to take my piece of cardstock. I'm going to lay it down. And I am going to press like this. The key is to make sure you get it. You don't want it to move around on your stamp, but you also want to make sure you've pressed really well on it, okay? And I think you could use this with any color. You could use pinks or blues or oranges. Hold on, because I know I will get ink all over the place. I'm going to get my tweezers. Oh, there we go. Okay. I like that. Looks very different, but there we go. And see, it's totally different than the other one. And I think that smooshing around, that's an official stamping term, smooshing. I think taking it and kind of moving it around on there helps. And the fact that there's already ink on the stamp, it just glides on there. So let me close up these green ink pads now that I know I don't need them anymore. I really like that. I'm so glad that came out. You just never know when you're doing a live like this. So you're going to want to get the green, get all the ink pads, colors if you don't have them. And you're going to want this stamp set, or this stamp, this big background stamp. So this is actually my second layer. So I am going to now cut this down to 5 by 3 3/4. So let's see, is there something? That edge is pretty good. This one's not so much. 5 by 3 3/4. I'm going to cut that side off there. Well, you know, that's got a lot of the dark. I'm gonna cut a little bit off of here because I want to make sure I have all the colors on my card. 3 1/2, 3 3/4, and I'll cut this little bit off of here. See, you just cut off what you don't like and leave it. Now this one's got a little bit, didn't go quite to the end, so I'm gonna cut that off. And then this measurement is 5. Oh, I better put it up here because I can't see the 5 down here. So there we go. Okay. And see, by starting out a little bit larger lets you trim the edges off that maybe didn't stamp well, or you can get rid of something that you don't like, or if you've got too much of one color, you can do that too. So I think that turned out pretty nice, and I like the fact that the soft seafoam's kind of underneath, peeking through some of this. I just think it's cool looking. I want to try this with some other colors. Okay. So let's start assembling our card. Now I have chosen yet another green for our card. This is the one of the new in colors. It's called Summer Splash. Okay, this is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, folded in half. Okay. Have you gotten the new in colors yet? You are going to want them. Yes, you do. Summer Splash. Let's see. Shy Shamrock. I'm trying to pull them up here. Pretty in Pink. Petunia Pop. And, oh, there's one, the peach one that I've used before. Peach Pie. But it's not right here at my desk. So these are great colors. You are going to want to get those in colors because they're great ones. So now I have taken a piece of another new color. This is Basic Beige, and this piece is 5 1/4 by 4. And I debated on what color to use for my mat, but I thought that this beige it blended nicely with these shades of green and kind of toned it down a little bit. So it wasn't quite so in your face. So that's why I chose that. Sometimes I have to stand. My cardstock, hold on, is in a file cabinet. And sometimes I have to stand at my file cabinet and try several colors before I decide which one I'm going to choose. Okay. So now I want to decide too, at this point I can decide which way do I want to orient this. Do I want to orient this card this way? Or do I want to orient it this way? This way covers up some more of this darker. You know, if my sentiment goes here, and I think I'm going to do that because it'll tone it down a little, you know, not be quite so dark. So my sentiment will go here. This darkish green will show up underneath, down, you know, at the bottom. And I think that's okay. I mean, you could do it either way. But we are going to take some of this is the Summer Splash bordered ribbon. They have this for all of the in colors, and it's really nice. It's soft. It ties nicely. So if you are good at tying bows, then just wrap it around and tie it. If not, you can do my cheater bow like I am doing here, like I am going to do here. And hold on here. Now this is not a technique I would use. I'll make sure this is straight. If I'm mass producing a lot of cards, because each time you have to clean up, you know, the stamp and all that. But it's good for you know, making a couple. And again, this color could be masculine or feminine, I think. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to go ahead and attach this to my card base. I'm loving this summer splash. Perfect. Okay, let's, before I tie my, well, yeah, I guess I can go ahead and tie my bow, or my knot. So if you want to tie a bow here, you could tie a bow, but I just tie a knot. It makes it easy. Just trim up those edges. Sometimes the edge of this ribbon will fray, so make sure you've got a nice sharp pair of scissors to cut it with. Okay, so let's do our sentiment. Let's stamp our sentiment. We're going to go ahead and do another I Didn't Forget Your Birthday. I'm just stretching out the celebration so that I can have one of those on hand for myself. Let's see. Yep, that'll go right like there. So I'll stamp, whoops, yeah, right in the middle there on the bottom. And then we'll run through the mini stamp and cut and emboss machine. Now it's nice, that ink pad's very juicy. Nice, okay. I have lots of inky stamps and blocks there. Okay, put this away. Let's see, where's my stamp mini machine? Okay, so probably gonna have to do this in 2 trips. Where's my plates at? Here we go. I think that what I'm gonna do first is my sentiment. So I'm going to take the smaller of these for this to cut out the sentiment. And it fits in there just right. And I'm going to use a little bit of washi tape to secure it so that it doesn't move. Okay. Okay, here we go. There we are. There's my sentiment. Then we're gonna get the larger die to cut out the piece for behind it, right there. There we are. Okay. Let me put this out of the way. Oh, so let's put this. Oh, I cut a little bit of the TH off, but I think it's absolutely fine. We're going to put this on here. Put the sentiment on this piece right here, and I love how it just is the perfect frame for this. Okay, now we are going to attach it to the card front. Now, you know, your inclination may be to put your dimensionals here, but I'm going to put mine up here and down here because I don't like to adhere a sentiment to ribbon, really. Okay, I just feel like it's not as secure and is at bigger risk of falling off. So that's when all of these little side pieces are really helpful. Or, you know, you can just cut a dimensional in half. Okay, that's why I say you don't ever throw any of these away, any of the dimensional sheet away, because you can cut up the edges, use them for small ones. That's exactly what I do. So this is going to straddle my ribbon perfectly. It's right there, and the last thing we have to do is add our embellishment. These are the 2024-2026 in color shimmer dots You can see I've used quite a few of them because I've done some swap cards. Now, while I'm thinking about it, now there are some other in color dots too. I haven't used these yet. These are the in color resin dots. Same colors. These are matte flat. These are shiny. What do they call them? Shimmer gems. So, you know, it kind of depends what you like, and it kind of depends on what the card is that you're making or what you're working on. So I like the shimmer ones, as you can tell, because I've used quite a few. But get the ones you like. Okay, so I'm going to pull a couple of these off of here. I'm going to put them right. We have two greens, and they're kind of, sometimes I have to look, but yep, so there we go. This was using the leaf, what's it called? Sorry guys. Leaf Collection stamp, background stamp that's in the new annual catalog. I used 4 colors of ink for it. That's Soft Seafoam, Coastal Cabana, Lagoon, and Pretty Peacock. And then Summer Splash was the color for the card base and the sentiment. So, I want to thank you so much for stopping by. Here's my website. There's my host code. If you need any help placing an order, let me know. I would be glad to help. And thanks again for stopping by for Stamping with Denise. Bye now.